What's your diet entail now?
70% vegetarian. I'll go a month without a piece of meat. I try, and I'm not a martyr. I took an oath to God that I would never have another ice cream or a piece of bacon in my life. I was an ice creamaholic, and I loved bacon. And I realized my body told me it was not good. I was starting to put on weight, cholesterol was rising a little bit, and I felt a bit nauseous. So I said, well, how can I stop? I took the oath. Now, I'm finding out that I mustn't have too much coffee. So I was having coffee, and I never had coffee until I was 70.
And then you allowed yourself, like a cup a day?
So I started having a cup a day, and sometimes 2 cups a day, and I was getting pains in my hands, and I was having quite a bit of bread. So now I've cut out coffee, and I've cut out bread. Bread is only my 3rd day. My hands are feeling like night and day. Night and day, the improvement.
You said it's your 3rd day cutting out bread?
And coffee for just on 3 weeks.
Okay. And
like
you want that to last for?
Well, now, I've now got to program myself. This morning, I had 1 tiny piece of bread, and I had half a cup of coffee. But that's my next project, to cut out coffee, have green tea and herbal tea, and cut out the bread. I'll have a piece of bread now and again. I don't think you must be a martyr. You see, Graham, the most cherished thing you have in life is a healthy body. You can't do anything without health. It's a holy temple. But we're not being educated, but that's typical of America right now. America, over 55% of the population are obese, 22% plus minus are obese in the young people. They're taking sports out of schools instead of increasing it. So the cholesterol is just rapidly increasing enormously. So I think it's the biggest single problem facing the world today, obesity. People will say wars, they'll all have their opinion. That's only my opinion. Because more people are going to die of obesity-related diseases than all the wars put together.
How do you think you change it?
You've got to change it with education. You've got to change it with the youth. Winston Churchill so aptly said, the youth of a nation are the trustees of posterity. We've got to get it through to the young people. How do you do it in America? If you go to your universities, I would take a guess and say probably, I stand for correction, plus minus 40% of the students are either on alcohol, they're either taking weed, or which is gradually being told that it's good for you, or they're smoking.
You now very famously posed nude on ESPN, the magazine's Body Issue. Why do that?
Well, when my son approached me that CNN wanted to do this, I said, no, not for me. I said, this is not Playboy or one of these other magazines. I said, no, thank you. He said, no, they do it very discreetly. Here's a chance. You're going to have to pick up this heavy ball. I want you to stand up there like Charles Atlas and hold that so people can see you have 0 body fat, that you have a stomach that's like a piece of iron. I want you to stand up so
people...
You have a
broken rib.
I want you to stand up and show the youth that you don't just talk about it, that you practice it, and that you appreciate it. And so he said, here's the opportunity to do it, and I promise you they will do it discreetly. I went in the room, they gave me a gown. There were not people in the room, just the producer and the photographer, of which you stand to the side. All you see is a little bit of the side here, which today is Mickey Mouse compared to what you see on TV with boobs out and half the buttocks sticking out. It was nothing like that. And so I did it, and it was the best thing I ever did. We had so many tweets and SMSs and messages. My goodness me. If you could look, I had a wonderful example. I'm on my ranch in South Africa, and I get a call from some guy out in the boondocks. He says, Gary, you're going to change my life for me. He says, I tell you, I cannot believe that I'm half your age, and my body fat is terrible, my children are fat, and I saw what you did, and I looked at you at the age of nearly 80 to see what you look like. I'm changing my life, and I phoned him. And he really couldn't believe I was phoning him from South Africa. And I said, I'm so happy that you tell me it's going to change your life. I've won 18 major championships and 165 tournaments. I'm the only man in the world that's won the Grand Slam on the regular tour with five of us, and I'm the only man that's won the Grand Slam on the senior tour. Why? Because I stayed fit. But that doesn't mean anything compared to a man telling you that you're saving his life.
What do you do to stay in shape now?
Well, I mean, I work out for an hour and a half. I do 1,300 crunches, of which I put a 100-pound weight here for some of them, and then I hold a ball, and I do all different kinds. And then I put my feet under a bench and come up with a normal sit-up. I do all kinds of things, and then I squat with 250 pounds, and I do my bum dumbbells, and I exercise from my head right down to my toes. And you know, here I am, and I play on a normal golf course. I average 70. Sometimes I shoot 66. I beat my age hollow. Every time I have a bad day, a bad day, and I beat my age by 4 shots, usually. But now, if I played in a tournament, it might be a little different. But it's exciting, and I'm a workaholic. I believe if you want to stay young, you've got to be a workaholic. Now, you know, you've got to know how to be a holidayaholic as well. You've got to know how to have the balance. But you've got to keep the body moving. The biggest danger to mankind is this thing I'm sitting on. What you should be doing this interview, this is how you should be doing the interview. See? We should be sitting like this. And then we'll test a young man like you, who's fit to you or me, if we sat like this and did the interview.
I'm sure you can kick my ass in it.
So the chair and the couch are the destroyers of mankind.
Yeah.
And the knife and fork.